Hey guys, it's Kip here from KDC Marketing, and in today's video I'm going to show you how you can use CMS on your Wix Editor website. So over here on the left hand side we have the different things that we can do. We can add elements, sections, pages, etc. But one of the things that we can do is the CMS, which stands for the Content Management System inside of Wix. And what it allows you to do is to create dynamic content, so dynamic sections and pages rather than static content. And we can talk about that a little bit more in a minute. So in order to use this, all you have to do is go to your Wix Editor website, click Add to Site right here, and then it's going to start adding the CMS features and functionality. So right now my Wix Editor website is blank. I'm going to add a few sections here just so I have something to work with. I'll add this as a welcome, and maybe I'll add one more section here just so we have a little bit of content, and then we can go in and add the CMS. So let's do this here. Okay, so I have a few sections. So now I've got my CMS, and so I'm going to start with a collection. And I'm going to create my first collection, which is kind of like a database, and this is what allows you to create dynamic content. And so I'm going to use AI to create mine, but you could start from scratch, or you could import your content from a CSV file or a spreadsheet, and that can also work. I'm just going to go with the AI, and I'm going to name my property team members here. This is a really common use case for Wix CMS. So I'm going to say I want their name, their bio, profile. I'm going to do it in this order actually: profile image, bio, and maybe their email. And go to next, and it's going to start generating this content for me with AI. So yes, I'm going to say create collection, and I want it to generate some data for me, so it already fills my collection in. Okay, so here I have my name of my team member, my profile image, my bio, and their email address. So the AI system already did this for me, and this is great. So you can kind of see what images are here for my different team members. So this is my collection, and I've got different things that I can do here. I can add new field types, and there are a lot of options for me to add. There's text, there's rich text where there's formatting, there's rich content, there's video content, media, galleries, lots of different options for me here. This is what I need for this example, but if you needed something more complex, then you could use those other fields. And then on the more action side of things, I'm going to go to the collection settings, and I want to control the item visibility, which means that I can control which items will show up or will be hidden from the website, will be visible or hidden. So, and I'm going to set the default status for new items to hidden. And then I'm going to click save. Okay, now that I have this collection created, I'm going to exit out of my collection, and I'm going to go back to my Wix Editor website here, and I'm going to start adding these team members to my website. And this is the home page. So I'm going to start adding them and connecting my data set here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a repeater, and I'm actually going to use a preset one just to save time as well. So here is our team member section here. There's 3 different options we can choose from, but I'm going to use this one here. So I've got the meet the team, and then I have their name, their bio, their role, and their profile image. Let me go back to my CMS here and see what fields we have. So we have their name, and so we're actually going to add a field. We're going to add a text field here, and this is going to be called position. So this will be their role or position, and we're going to move it over here. So this works just like a spreadsheet. So I'm just going to say some titles here: marketing manager, marketing director, Charlie's the marketing advocate, whatever that means, and then we'll do CEO, and COO. Okay, so we've got these, and these images are actually off. If I look at this, I need to replace some of these. Like some of them are for females, but they're actually pictures of males. So let's just go in here and add some team members here, and we'll get these switched out pretty quickly. So I'm just going to the free media from Wix to do this. They have really great images, especially for things like this. That one's fine. This one's a bit weird, so let's just go find another image here and get this one figured out. Let's go with this image, and yeah, these two should be fine. So now we have the correct fields that we need for this. And so I'm going to start connecting this to my data set. So this is my repeater, and it's my team members repeater. And so each of these is their own item in a sense, but we're going to connect this to our data set. So I'm going to connect to the CMS. And as soon as I click this little gear, I get this option to show dynamic content on this element. So I'm going to add my data set. I'm going to go to team members data set, and click create. Okay, so now I need to connect my different fields to the elements on the website. So this image field, for example, right now it's not connected to anything. So I need to connect it to profile image. That's the image source. And you can see as soon as I did this, then it was able to connect the images that are in my database, in my collection, and it added 2 more items. So that's the really cool thing with repeaters and with collections, is they work together to be dynamic. So now we have the image showing up, and if I wanted a link for the image to go somewhere, if they click on the image, I can set that up here. So I'm not going to set that right now, but that could be something that you could set there. And then alt text might just be the person's name. So I'm going to put that in as the alt text of the image. Okay, so I have that connected. Now I need to connect this element here. And you can see right now it's not connected to anything. So I need to connect it to the name, or to the position. And then this will populate dynamically as well. So marketing manager, marketing director, marketing advocate, those are the ones I just added in just a second ago. And then this one here is the person's name. So I'm going to go in and connect this here. So we have Alice, Bob, Charlie, Diana, and Ava, which all worked great. And then their bio here, we're going to connect to the bio field. And that worked dynamically as well. So we have our fields connected, and then we can manage our content through this CMS section. So let me show you what I mean by that. Now that this is all connected, all we have to do to manage this going forward is to manage it here in our database. So I'm going to put some last names here. I'm just going to make them up on the fly for these different team members. So I'm going to say Alice Jones, Bob Thomas, Charlie Evans, Diana Davis, and Ava Johnson. And once I make these changes here on the back end, they're going to show up on the front end. So if I click out of this, then they're going to show up dynamically here. The other thing that we were doing at the beginning of this video is we set this visibility, the status, so we can change this to hidden if we don't want to show this team member. So for example, let's say we don't want Diana Davis to show up there. Well, now she's hidden here, and it all happens in real time, and it happens dynamically. So I do want to show that team member. So I'm going to go back into this and go to visible and make sure that Diana Davis is showing there. Now let's say that I move around the order of these team members. I want Diana at the top, and then I want Ava next, and then this is an order that I like. If I go back to my website, you'll notice it didn't really update that way here on the front end. So there's something we can do to fix that. And all we have to do is go back into our CMS and our collection, and then we can click this mirror on site, and it will mirror, or should mirror, the way that we've sorted this database. So let's see if it did it. Looks like it didn't update, which is okay. Sometimes it takes it a second for it to do that. Now see, when I preview it, it did. So now that I clicked preview, it did update in the order that we have in the database. Sometimes you have to preview it or get it to react in order for it to update. So I was able to make it mirror the order on the site by clicking that button. So now it will always mirror this order of that's in my collection, unless I change that or put on a different filter or something. Okay, so that's one thing that we can do with the team members. The other thing is we can actually have an individual page for each of these team members that comes right from our data set. So I'm going to go over here to manage pages, and I'm going to add a menu item. I'm going to go to dynamic pages. Wrong place. I'm going to go to dynamic pages here. I'm going to go to add dynamic page. And I want this to be the item page. But we're actually going to do a couple of these. So I'm going to do the list page first so you can see what that looks like. And basically it's just taking the same thing, it's taking the team members and listing them out. And then I'm going to add my my item page. So again, with my team members collection, if I had more than one collection, it would show up here. So my team members here. And now there's going to be a page for each team member. And this one has all the fields of our collection. So it has name, bio, image, and the email address, which is pretty cool because that was in there and we haven't used that yet, but that's in there. So now each of these team members has a page. And one of the cool things about the item pages is if you want to preview what it looks like for a different team member like Bob Thomas, then you can preview this here. Charlie Evans and Diana Davis, etc. So if there's something that I want to change, like this picture here, I've noticed kind of cut off. If I want to change this, I just have to drag this up and it might look a little bit better. If I do change this, because it's a dynamic page, it'll change all the pages at once. So now when I go to this other page here, these all will have the images at the same height. So that's the other benefit of doing this, is that you have to design it one time and then all these other dynamic pages will follow the same format, same layout, same everything. So let me go back to my home page and show you how we can connect our images to go to those pages. So if we go to our image and we open up this gear again, we never set the link. The link isn't connected to anything. So if we set, now that we've created these two pages here, we can link to these dynamic pages. So I'm going to link to the team members item. So now when I preview this, and if I were to click on the team member images, it'll actually go to their specific page. So if I click on Charlie Evans, goes to Charlie Evans page. And I haven't set up this back button yet, so you'll notice nothing happens if I click it. And nothing, these actually work if I click these. These are buttons to go through to the different team members, but this back button doesn't work. So again, there's something we need to configure and set up dynamically. So when I click on this back button, the click action isn't set. So we need to set this to something. And I think if we set it to previous page, that might be what we want. Actually, we might want that to go, let me try this, if it's on previous page. And we go to the home page. So let's try this. We might need to switch this to something else, but let's just preview it and see. So let's go into Ava Johnson, and yeah, it's not working as previous page. So let's put it to our list page here. So let's set the click action to the dynamic pages. So that would be this one right here, the team member list. And now it's going to work. So it'll take us back here to team members. If we click into these and see these aren't set yet. So let's go in and set these. These are all good reminders for us to look at. Every time we use CMS, you do have to kind of set this up the first time. So see, this one's not set either. So the image source is connected, but the link needs to be connected to the team members item. And this button here also needs to be connected to the team members item. So what we're really doing is we're just creating dynamic links for each of these team members so that when we click in, it goes to the right pages, and when we click back, it goes back to our list here. Okay, so let me go back to the home page for a second, and we have our meet the team members. So let me show you what happens if we add a new team member. So let's say that we have 5 team members right now, but we were able to hire somebody, and we're going to hire Jessica Jones, and they're going to be our sales lead. Okay, so we just populate all these fields, and so we have another item here, and we need a little bit of a bio. Loves everything to do with sales and closing deals. Okay, and then we would put in her email, so it would be jessica@example.com. And right now you can see that her status is hidden, so she doesn't show up, and that's because we set the settings here. The default status for new items is hidden. So we're going to display this as visible, as show selected items, and then we're going to see Jessica Jones show up here, and because of all the other settings we've enabled, we'll be able to click in and she'll have her own page created automatically. Let's see, why isn't that going to Jessica? Maybe it's just taking a second. Here she is on the list page. Yeah, so just taking a second. So let's go back to the home page here and do that one more time. It should have worked the first time. But all of that gets created dynamically. So there she is. Let's click into her page. Here's her page. And it keeps jumping me into Alice Jones. It might be like a preview setting or something, because she should have her own dynamic page. So let's make sure that she does. And it will show in here if she does. Yeah, see, so we can see that she does have her own page here. Okay, so the cool part is that I need to add something here. This is bothering me that I don't have a header, that I can't get back to the home page. Let me just do that real quick. I should have done that to begin with, but I wanted to show you what it looks like when you start from scratch. So I'm just gonna put this in here, click home, we're gonna center line it. We're gonna link this to our home page so we know how to get back there. Okay, now when I preview this, I can always get back to my home page and then jump to these different pages. So yeah, she does have a page. It's just that when we're previewing, before it was kicking us back to something else. But the cool thing is when I updated that one page, or that one item in my data set, you can see that updated in 3 places. It updated on the home page, it added her here automatically, and it created her own page for her here in this profile setting. So that's the really cool thing about CMS, is that once you set it up and you get it working, then you can change it in one place and it's going to update in all the places it's being utilized. It's going to have the correct format for everything, and you only have to do it once. And then if a team member leaves, if somebody quits or someone gets fired or they're no longer part of the company, all you have to do is go in here and change their status to hidden, and then they won't show up on this homepage here. They won't show up on the list page. So if we go into Eva Johnson, then back to our list page, they won't show up here anymore. So really cool to see once you get it set up, then it's working correctly. So again, this is with the Wix Editor. there are two different platforms in Wix. There's Wix Studio and the Wix Editor. Most of my content is about Wix Studio, the more advanced editor out of the two. But I wanted to show that this is also possible to do on the Wix Editor. There are some things that Wix Studio has that are exclusive, like certain dynamic page types, for example. Here in Wix Editor, you only have 3 page types. In Wix Studio, you actually have a 4th page type. You have a manage item content page, but you don't have that here. But a lot of the things do exist here in the Wix Editor. And you can make some really cool dynamic sections, like this team member section using a repeater, and then you can make the item list page and then the item pages, and you can always change the design of these too. Like if I wanted this section to have a different background, then the cool part is that all of them are going to have the same background. So if this was my background here for them, then if I preview the other pages, then they'll have that same background. So I just change one thing and it's going to change it across the board, which is really awesome. So if this website was more designed, then I'd have a footer here that was different. It'd be a bit easier to kind of see how this would really function in a real website. The other thing is, on the Wix Editor, you always want to make sure you test things on mobile. So you can see here some of my elements aren't where they need to be, and it's just drag and drop. But if I preview on mobile and see how it looks, and see some of these images here looking a bit stretched, so I'd want to go in and fix this. We can see what the homepage looks like here. Homepage is looking a bit better, but if I went into the list page, then I'd want to find out why these images are looking stretched. So I tried to see what I could do to fix these. And it might be something as simple as that. I might have just needed to click in to these items here, and it looks like it might have gotten a bit better. Yeah, that looks better already. And then I could edit these to be stretched a little taller so you could see the whole image. And if I did that for one, it would do it for all of them. I could change my button style too, and see what I want to do there. So anyways, just wanted to show you what's possible with Wix CMS. You just have to enable the app on the left-hand side in order for it to work. And then once you get it set up, then it's going to allow you to create dynamic content, and really, really fun to kind of learn it and see what all the possibilities are. You can have multiple collections, you can link collections together, you can do some really cool things. You could do real estate listings, any type of listings you can think of. Those would all be done through CMS. You can do team members, you can use it for testimonials, you can use it in so many ways. I've seen it used for services. You can list your services that way and have it displayed in multiple sections of your website. But one of the most common uses is the team members one. So I just wanted to show how you could do that, and you could obviously add a lot more fields here than I did. This was pretty basic, but just wanted to give you a high-level overview of the CMS and how to do it on the Wix Editor. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next video.